Hi everybody, it's Smart Games. My name is Brian Rovner. I'm the president of Twisterz Toys, and as you know, we've joined the Smart Games family, and we're very excited to be part of your team. I've been asked to put together a little video that describes Twisterz for you, all of our individual products, how they work, how we've sold them, and how we think they can be improved, and hopefully you'll find this video useful. I just want to say we're very excited to be part of Smart Games, and we're really excited about what you can do with the brand and really turn it into the products that we think it can be. And we look forward to working with you. So I'll get started right here with a quick introduction about our products, how they work, and what their history is. Then we'll move into each individual product, and then we'll conclude this quick video with how to better sell the product, what marketing tools we think would be effective, and some suggested product improvements that we've talked about already. So Twisterz were invented several years ago by my partner. His name is Matt Sarconi, and he couldn't be here today to be on the video, but he'll always be available with questions about product art or future improvements or stuff like that. I'm sure we'll all be able to work together. So the concept of the product is very simple. What we have is a cylinder, and on the cylinder are rotating lockable rings. And with these rings, you can do different things with content. For example, the one I'm holding is called Story Starter, where you create stories with the rings, putting them together like this. And we'll go over all of the products individually shortly. You've got letters that you can build words with. You've got category matching. For example, here you have the alphabet matcher, where you pick a letter, find the images that match that letter. I guess on this video, you'll see some of the kids playing with it. So all kinds of different things you can do with the content. There are two form factors that we have right now. One is the 6-tooth version, and we call it 6 teeth because you'll see 6 teeth on each individual ring. On these, you have more space on each ring, so we usually use 6 slots for information. So, for example, this is Word Builder. You'll find 6 letters on each ring. Alphabet Matcher, which is the big seller. Again, 6 letters and then 6 images per each ring. So that's the 6-tooth version. We also have the 10-tooth version, which the content is a little bit thinner, but you can get more words on there. So this one is called Story Starter, and you have 10 little areas of information on each ring. And this one you build stories with. We'll get into the individual products separately shortly. So those are the form factors. A lot of the products have interchangeable rings. In other words, you either have another set of rings that you put on and off, or you can mix up the rings. And that's done pretty simply right now. It's a screw cap, and you see the rings come on and off like that. And then you can put them right back on as such. Again, we'll talk about that with the individual products, but the idea is you can exponentially increase the things you can do with the content by taking off the rings and either mixing up these rings or putting new rings on. And we'll get into that with the products as well. As we wrap up the introduction, one interesting thing to keep in mind is that I think the products lend themselves to foreign languages. For example, you have the Story Starter here. Right now it's in English, build stories in English, but it wouldn't be that hard to switch it to any language and have a Story Starter. Similarly, the Word Builder is based on the English alphabet, but there's no reason other alphabets wouldn't work just fine with the same concept. Even category matchers like Alphabet Matcher, again, the idea here is the English M. What English words start with the letter M, like mushroom, but there's absolutely no reason why other languages wouldn't work just as well. Something to keep in mind. But maybe that's a good segue. Now let's move on to what our current products are, and then we'll talk about how we can improve them in the future. All right, let's move on to the current product line that we have right now, and maybe the best place to start is with Alphabet Matcher, which is this box and this product. Alphabet Matcher is historically our best seller. It continues to do well at Barnes & Noble and other retailers, and I'm really looking forward to the ways that we can improve this product because I think this will be a real hit in the marketplace. The concept of Alphabet Matcher is simple. You simply select a letter here, line it up with the arrow. There's the letter A, and again, this is in English, and then you're looking for images that start with the letter A. There's astronaut, and there's apple, and so on and so forth. This product, as you can see in the box here, comes with 4 sets of rings. One master cylinder, but 4 sets of rings, so that when you're done with that color-coded set of rings, you can take that whole set off. Again, I don't have the other set sitting here, and put a new set of rings on to cover most of the alphabet. There's 24 letters because we have 4 rings. 6 times 4 is 24. But again, this product is doing very well. I'll talk about the packaging improvement later, but it has been our best seller, and again, I'm looking forward to what we can do with this one in the marketplace. Our next product is called Story Starter. This is actually my favorite toy that we have. As opposed to our other products, this one is really an exercise in creativity and imagination for kids. How to build a story, how to take an idea and continue to build the story from there. With older kids, what we say is it's a real good opportunity for them to use their heads and continue to build stories on their own. With younger kids, it's a great bedtime tool. Mom can put together a story and continue an original story for the younger kid before bed, stuff like that. I think it's a great toy and a great concept. The idea is there's 10,000 possible story introductions. There's 4 rings with 10 options on each ring. So you randomly can spin the rings, line them up with the arrow, for example. So here's what I got with this story. The zookeeper opened the bag and gave the signal. Slowly, and then you continue a story from there. So slowly, dozens of snakes suddenly slithered out of the bag and came onto the stage. Everybody in the front row was scared. They were worried that the snakes were going to attack them, but no, these were friendly snakes. And this was a whole show that the zookeeper created. Anyway, as you can see, there's a million things you can do with creative stories, building a story, and maybe I should have thought about a story before I gave this little video presentation. But hopefully you get the idea. I think there's wonderful things you can do with creativity and imagination with this toy, and I hope that it's marketed well and can really get into a lot of people's hands because I think it's really cool. Next product is called Word Builder, and this is maybe the most interesting product that we have because from a utility value, I think Word Builder is actually our best product. Once people get the hang of it, it really becomes addicting and has a lot of use and can really be a developmental tool. In fact, this is our favorite product among teachers. A lot of teachers use it in the classroom here, and we've marketed as such. But again, not that many people know about it. The idea of Word Builder is very simple. You line up letters and try to find words on all of these rings. And so the letters can be from 2 to 6 letters long. There's D, O in English. There you have a word right off the bat, do. And again, they can be up to 6 letters long. Now, something to keep in mind as Word Builder is marketed is that people get confused by Word Builder. People will get it and they'll look at this jumbled group of letters and they're not quite sure what to do with it. It's not as easy to use as they thought it would be. So from a marketing perspective, as you're thinking about how to describe the product, how to do a message for it, what I always say when I'm at Twisterz or whatever is what you want to do is start with a 2-letter word. We just did do, right? Okay, you've got a 2-letter word right now. Can you find any 3-letter words from there? Well, on this next ring. Dow. Well, that's a word, dow or dough. There's another 3-letter word. But continuing from there, can you build a 4-letter word? Well, you might know that you could spell does. There's not an S on this 4th ring. Is there an S on one of these 2 rings? If there was an S on one of these 2 rings, there's an S right here. I won't do it right now. Oh, cool. You can take off the ring, move the S into place, and you've got a 4-letter word. That works better when you're trying to build 5- and 6-letter words. Or, let's just go back, D-O-W, dow. Is there a letter on the next ring that would work? Is there an N? Well, there was an N before, but there's not an N there, but there is an N here. So again, you could rearrange the rings, create down. Look for an S. That would be a 5-letter word. And then it becomes really sort of, oh, interesting. Well, let's go back. Da, D-A, consonant and a vowel. You know, D-A-W, da, da, dawn. How about dawn? Well, there's the N. Rearrange the rings, and then you've got dawn again. In other words, the message that I'm trying to deliver is there's a lot of utility here, and it's a really good exercise on how to use letters, to build words, to learn how to spell, to learn the logic of spelling, if you will. And teachers, again, are appreciative of this. So it is a marketing challenge, though. So how do you quickly and efficiently in a package, in a quick spot, deliver that message? That's the real challenge that we have with Word Builder. But again, it's a good product with a lot of utility value. One last thing about Word Builder, a potential product improvement. We actually talked about this. Marcel mentioned that he found a product online that was similar to this, and we had an idea that grew out of that. Imagine if each ring was color-coded. So you had a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple ring, for example. And a little guide, we have guides that come in all the packages already, but imagine if that guide said, okay, arrange the rings red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or arrange the rings red, blue, yellow, green, however the order is, and look for these words with these combinations. Then the product becomes a little bit easier to use, if you will. Then kids know what they're looking for. the point of the product sort of changes at that point, but if you're looking for ways to popularize the product and make it easier for the masses, that might be interesting, make it a little bit more colorful. One last note on word builder, we actually went to somebody who was associated with Scrabble and asked them how many words are possible on this product if you take into account unscrewing the ring and all the different combinations, and there are almost 14,000 words in here in the English language that are possible to be built. So it might look good, you know, on the packaging, up to 14,000 words, or almost 14,000 words. Good little selling tool that we did not do originally that could be improved upon. Again, good product. I look forward to talking about it further. So our last two products were sort of our foray into licensed products, if you will, something we hadn't done before. These were introduced last year. We've yet to really go out and market them, so most people don't know these exist. But they're pretty interesting. Both of these products were done with Scholastic Entertainment, which you may or may not has some good properties. The first is called the Clifford Category Matcher. Clifford is obviously a well-known international property, and the idea here is pretty simple. You pick a category like food, and then you find the items which belong in that category. You have popcorn there, you have hot dog there. So pretty straightforward, just category matching. The other thing that you can do is look for pairs. Find all the things that are pairs. Two swings. So there's pairs of things here. Look for different colors. Look for different activities. So it's just basic category matching, and then you're encouraged to go above and beyond the instructions and do different things with all the images on here. All of the images are from Birdwell Island, which is from Clifford the Big Red Dog. This one, you're watching this video now, but this product should get a boost late this year because this year's Clifford's 50th anniversary, so there's going to be a lot of promotion and publicity surrounding Clifford. So hopefully we can leverage a little bit of that and kickstart sales of this item. The last product is another Scholastic product. It's called the Word Girl Word Builder. Where is Word Girl on here? Here she is. So this is basically based on the original Word Builder with a couple of enhancements. Number one, it's a licensed product, so people who've heard of Word Girl might be attracted to this. One thing we do is add number values, excuse me. So kids can find words, spell them out, and add up their number score. Call that room. So 2 + 1 + 2. There's a 5-point word right there. So they can be in the back seat of the car and they say, can you get a 10-point word? The other enhancement is you'll see the characters. Here's Word Girl, and here's Captain Huggy Face. And these are free choice letters. So it becomes a little bit easier to build longer words. You know, I need an O here. Well, we had an O as it turns out, but let's say there wasn't an O here. There's Word Girl, and there's R. So you say that's an O, and that spells room. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Makes it a little bit easier to spell words, especially longer words. And just like the original Word Builder, the cap comes off here, so you can take off the rings, rearrange them, and really exponentially increase the number of words that you can find. So now we're going to move into potential product and marketing improvements, and hopefully these are just ideas that will generate some thought and discussion on how we can take this product and make it even better. There are two ideas that have been talked about so far as relates to product improvement, but I'm sure there are many others. The first is the rings by necessity are somewhat loose. So we've had discussions about this already, but if you could put in some sort of spring loading mechanism here where the rings really lock into place. So there's a little more tension going sideways to make them spring loaded. A, it will lock the rings into place better, and B, might create a slightly better user experience when you're putting them together. It might feel like something's happening. Again, so adding some sort of spring loading mechanism on the rings is one thing. The second thing we've talked about is adding some sort of click mechanism where every time you move, let's say here's the arrow here, when you twist the ring, there's a click, 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 click. Again, doesn't change the content of the product, but enhances the user experience a little bit. What we did when we originally were looking at that is within the rings themselves, you could put little indentations here that would create the click. I don't know, I'm not an engineer, I don't know if that's the way to go, but it has been suggested to us before, and it's something we have looked at. How do we create a click to make the product better? Another thing that has been suggested by buyers, among other people, is a smaller version of the product. Call it Twisterz Junior or whatever. It's basically the same thing, but in a smaller package. It has been buyers that have suggested that might do better at mass market. We are not in mass market. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the plans for Smart, but it has been a suggestion, something could be discussed, just making a Twisterz Junior a smaller version of the same concept. And then maybe lastly, for now, in terms of potential product improvements, one of the big questions about the beginning was if we needed a payoff. In other words, let's say your kid is playing with Alphabet Matcher and he gets one row completely right. He's doing the A row, and ant, and what starts with A? Airplane, and I'm only a little bit slow at this, and anchor. All right, so boom, he got the A row right. There's no payoff in the toy other than his teacher or his mother saying, good job, you got it right, and then he moves on to the next letter. Some people at the beginning said, you need some sort of payoff. You need an electronic tool in there to go ding, ding, ding when you get it right. We think that there's as large, if not larger, audience for our toys out there that appreciates the fact that they're not electronic, and frankly, making these electronic, this would not be a $13 retail item if it was electronic. But that being said, I know that there's a lot of really creative people at Smart. If there was a way to create a payoff mechanism when, for the products that have right answers, if you spell a word correctly and it's in the dictionary, ding, it's a word, that might be interesting. I don't think it's a necessity to make the product successful, but again, just something that's out there, something that could be discussed when we're talking about product improvements. So the last thing that I want to talk about are sales and marketing suggestions. And again, this is just to initiate some discussion, but whenever I talk about the sales and marketing issues we have, I always go to a story. I was at a Borders a couple of years ago where our products were just placed, and Borders is a big bookstore chain, or was a big bookstore chain, it's now bankrupt in the US, and they had a big display of Twisterz, and I'm looking at the packages there, and my first reaction is, wow, it's really great to see our product on the shelves there. But then I had a bit of an epiphany when I realized, okay, I'm looking at this product and it looks nice and the packaging is nice and everything, but it's not jumping out at me what it is. This product, this package and this display is not saying, wow, my kid can learn how to spell by using his hands in a tactile exercise to match pictures, real colorful pictures with letters. It wasn't exciting, not grabbing me what it is. And from that point forward, I've been thinking about what's important to improve store sales, and as a company we didn't have the resources to really invest as I would have liked to invest. But the message I'm trying to send here is, I think the most important initial question is, how do we improve our presentation at the store level to really move the products more at the store? And I think there's two things that we talk about there. First is package improvements, and second is displays. So on packaging, I've seen the Smart packaging and it's great. So you have very talented package designers I know internally. And so I'm probably not telling you anything that you don't know already. And really, we've had higher level discussions about Twisterz packaging to begin with, and I've made my feelings clear. With the new Alphabet Matcher run that's coming out shortly, we made some improvements. Less small font copy here, more bigger letters conveying a fun message. We're putting award labels. This is a product that has won awards. It's won an important language award. It won a Dr. Toy award, so that'll be imprinted on the package. But really, for all of these packages, the idea is less copy like that. This is not selling it at the store. It has to be word builder. Big letters. It should say spell up to 14,000 words in fun font like this, so that it just quickly conveys the message of what the product is and what it does in a fun way. Make it more fun and more descriptive at the same time. Not all of this small text, which just doesn't do any good when it's sitting on the shelf at a specialty toy store. So improving the packaging, I think that this is something that's very important to me, as some of you at Smart know already, and I look forward to discussing that with you in detail and hopefully getting the packaging just right. And then the other, in addition to packaging, when you're talking about store displays, I think that having point-of-purchase displays, I don't have an example here. We had one that we used for a little while, but it never really got out there, and it wasn't that good, to be honest with you. But having a point-of-purchase display where there's a demo sitting in the package, along with the product, and then a back that says, learning with a twist, Twisterz, spin the rings to learn, to have fun, whatever you put on it, but quick, simple messages that get people's attention. Promote the fact that it's non-electronic, that it's tactile, that you can do wonderful things with the content, and having that in the store would be, which I would think would go a long way toward improving store sales. And again, I am happy to work with everybody to create the right point of purchase display for the product. And then again, I think it goes without saying that all of the collateral associated with Twisterz, whether it be brochures, whether it be the catalog, should have these things in mind. Let's use the lessons that we've learned in the 2 years that Twisterz operated independently. Make the message quick, make it straightforward, make it fun. So as we do the catalogs and as we do the brochures, these things will be important at a sales level. And then the last marketing improvement, but this would also qualify as a product improvement, it's something that we've talked about briefly, is selling individual packets of rings as opposed to making people buy the whole cylinder every single time they want to buy a new Twisterz items. So let's say somebody already owned Word Builder and they wanted to buy the Clifford category matcher, but right as it stands right now, if you own one Twisterz and you want to buy another one, you have to go out and buy the whole package again. Well, rather than making them do that, let's say we had little bags that just were sold rings, and you could sell the rings for, we could probably sell them for $6 or $7 and make the right margin, maybe even less, I'm not sure, I didn't do the math, but sell the rings and be more economical both for us and for the consumer. Might be a good way to do that, something to think about. So you could picture a Twisterz display where you had the master products that they got to buy the first one, and then surrounding it are bags of different rings for the different products. It's a thought on how we might make more sales, make sales more economical, and make ourselves more friendly to consumers. So that will be it for now. Thank you very much for watching the video. Obviously, this is just designed to start some discussions, hopefully to put some ideas into people's head. I look forward to speaking with everybody about how to really improve Twisterz, make it into a great brand. There have been suggestions that we could take Twisterz and turn it into a whole line of products that have a sort of twist component. I think that would be great, and I hope that we can work with you to make this happen. Again, I look forward to speaking with everybody soon. Thanks.